first module related to the cloud concepts. So yesterday we tried to understand the high availability, disaster recovery, fault tolerance, agility, scalability, elasticity, all those terminologies we have seen and we discussed about them as well. But we have some more terminologies related to the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So we are going to discuss about it. I'm going to connect with you, Abhinav, over the weekend to discuss the first module chapters. Okay, and you guys, if you would like to be revised, you can join along with the Abhinav. Okay, over the weekend. This weekend we are going to do. Okay, now to come to the Azure services. Azure services is like of what kind of services are being provided by the Azure. Okay, how exactly you can use these services. So we have seen there are three major categories are there, like computing services, networking services, and the storage services. Okay, we also have seen a database kind of services is also available, which kind of DB is supposed to be used, in which kind of situation. So those kind of services are there. So we have seen just the service name and their basic use. Okay, like this. So we are going to see the same thing again. I'm going to revise it for the Abhinav. Even you guys can join over the weekend as well for this one as well. Yeah. And now we are going to talk about the security, privacy, and compliance and trust. So what do you mean by this? Let me give you some overview here. So like, so you are trying to use, see, you don't have your on-premises data center. You are not maintaining anything at your level, at hardware level. You are not maintaining anything at the OS level. Okay. Suppose you are going to use that Azure services. In that case, what is going to be happen? You may have concern about the security. How exactly they are going to secure your data. Your data is not supposed to be breached. It is not supposed to be taken by someone else. Like you may heard about couple of times like Twitter have revealed the information of their users, right? You have provided some username password, you are always creating some accounts. So such kind of problems you may have heard about from the different kind of website like Apple information, users information has been revealed, Facebook person information has been revealed. So this kind of client information not supposed to be revealed by the persons, okay, or maybe some other social media networking websites. Some other sensitive information you don't want to reveal them, related to the credit card, also related to anything you don't want to reveal. This your personal life, you are not supposed to reveal in front of anyone. The same thing is going to be happen in terms of the cloud. You have clients, how what exactly you are working with the client, how exactly you are working with the client, which kind of business model you are working, which kind of project you are working, what is the we can say the logic you are using during the development, which kind of flow, which kind of architecture you are using. It's all about the privacy. So this kind of information are not supposed to be revealed by the cloud vendors. If you are using their cloud, they are supposed to be secure your information. Even I told you a couple of times the shared responsibility. Security is the shared responsibility. You cannot simply say okay, security need to be maintained by the Azure only, or security need to be maintained by you only. It's a shared responsibility. They are also going to manage the security. You are also supposed to be manage the security. So we are going to discuss about it. So there are some word. One word is security. Security means it is shared responsibility. Security need to be managed by the Microsoft also. Security need to be managed by your level also. Privacy, like you are not supposed to reveal the data, your business model, your architecture, your data, which is very important thing, because all the architecture, all the business models are working totally on top of data. Your data is very key part here. Your data supposed not to be revealed for the outside world, right? Private company having their clients, why exactly they are able to maintain the client. If I talk about the big MNCs, because definitely those MNCs, if I talk about the Accenture or the Cognizant or the TCS, Infosys, whatever the companies are there, those particular companies having the clients, and the clients data is going to be available as part of the cloud. They are trying to maintain some security, but that is not supposed to be known by someone else. Otherwise, data breach is going to be happen. Their reputation is going to be down, right? The big giant companies. So such kind of information is the privacy kind of thing. It is not supposed to be revealed. Now, most of the person having the doubt between the privacy and compliance. Compliance is all about the standards which is supposed to be followed. Okay, if you are not going to follow, that is going to be cause you so much harm. How exactly the compliance? If I'm saying government kind of stuff, I given you this kind of visibility in the very beginning days also, but let me revise it again. Okay, the compliance. If I talk about, like, you have seen that TikTok has been banned as part of the India, but the TikTok has been banned because there is a data privacy concept there. As part of the concept, you are supposed to have the data as part of the India location. You are not supposed to have the data of India outside of the India. Like their server was not India. Their server was reside residing in the China, and there is a one thumb rule in the China. If there is a some security issues they will face, if they find out there is a problem to their nation, then companies are supposed to reveal all the information related to the business, their business. So this is the one of the biggest problem with the China. China is forcing the business to reveal their information, to reveal their uh, privacy, which is not supposed to be revealed. If I talk about the Huawei, Huawei is the basically company of the China, and Huawei is this is the agreement. If you would like to have the business as part of the China, if you would like to have proceed with the IT companies, you are supposed to have the this kind of thing. So that's why the software companies are mostly in the India location. Software companies are not in the China location. You can see the hardware kind of assembly, all those things are that's fine, but sometimes you have seen like major Apple, what to say, the manufacturing unit was supposed to be taken care from the China location, but now they are shifting due to their such kind of nonsense policy. So whenever the policies are being applied from the government side or being applied as a standards, those things which you need to be followed as a standard will comes under the compliance, right? If you see your laptop or office laptop is also following the compliance from your company. Okay, how exactly? You don't have maybe public access. If I talk about the banking applications, you're not supposed to have the access to access any website. You are not supposed to download anything. You're not supposed to install anything. All those restrictions has been applied, which are the part of the standard restriction. So when I talk about the not non-standard restriction, that comes under the privacy, but when I about the standard restrictions, which are very mandatory, you cannot simply skip it. Okay, so that kind of things comes under the compliance. The compliance means standard restrictions which cannot be avoided, which is supposed to be followed. If you are not going to follow, you will be in the huge amount of issues. Okay, like so those things comes under the compliance. So I hope you are a bit aware about the security. All three are different terminologies, all three having three different contexts. No need to worry, just I'm giving you the overview. What is the trust? Suppose I'm having the cloud, or I'm taking the cloud kind of facility from Microsoft. Why I'm supposed to trust Microsoft? They are going to maintain their privacy. They are going to maintain my security. They are going to maintain the compliance kind of stuff. So see, if anybody giving you some commitment, nobody is believing simply on commitment. They would like to see some results. They would like to see some strong point. Okay, so Microsoft have taken the third parties. Third parties means the companies who are going to give the assurance. Okay, Microsoft is following this standard. That's why I'm giving this certificate to the Microsoft. Microsoft is having all the, see, you see the companies are CMM level 3, 4, 5. Why? How is it any company is becoming CMM level 5? Because they are following that kind of standard. How any hotel become the 5-star hotel? Because they are following that kind of standard. So whenever you're going to follow the standard, that kind of standard will become in terms of the certification, or those kind of certification is going to create a trust for you. So that kind of stuff we are going to see. This is having the much more weightage because 25% to 30% content will be available as part of your certification. So the percentage is like a weightage. Okay, even you may aware about for this particular chapter we have the dedicated certification also. How the things are going to be maintained, how the things need to be taken care. Okay, during the networking part. So let's see, this is the very basic fundamental thing for understanding towards networking, understanding towards security, privacy, and compliance. I hope so you guys basic visibility about those four terminologies. Most of people are calculating the terminology as a same thing, but no, they having different context, they having different intention to be taken care as part of the cloud computing. Okay, so what exactly we are going to see? We are going to see the firewall. Okay, what is the firewall? Azure firewall. We are going to see distributed denial of services, DDoS protection. We are going to see the network security group. And on top of that, how exactly things need to be configured as part of the network security group for the security purpose. We are going to see the difference between authentication versus authorization. It's a famous interview question. You are working for any technology, does not matter, but people are simply going to ask you what is the difference between authentication versus authorization. We are going to see one of the most important topic, which is known as the Azure Active Directory. Definitely, you are going to have 2 to 3 questions related to the Azure Active Directory and its related scenarios. Okay. we are going to see the multi-factor authentication kind of stuff. As we know, like username and password is not sufficient. You are supposed to have the extra layer of security, which may be in terms of the OTP or in terms of the authenticator app, which is going to be installed as part of your mobile phone. So you are going to have some additional number of tokens. With the help of that, you are going to log in. So those basic things are there. Then we are going to more discuss about how exactly Azure Security is going to work out. What is the Azure Security Center? What do you mean by Key Vault? How exactly Azure information protection is going to help you out, what is the advanced threat protection. So all those things are there. We are going to understand also Azure policies, Azure initiatives, what is the role-based access control, what are the logs, okay, how exactly the security advisor is going to help me out. So it's a much more detailed stuff. I will suggest you just focus on this chapter because it's very important. It's having much more weightage. Okay, let's proceed. So, okay, what is this? If I talk about a normal situation, suppose you're having some website. If I'm saying site one and site two, okay, if the website is then request is coming. So suppose I'm saying you having some very basic web application. Okay, you may having one, you have designed one web page. Okay, a web page having some particular fields, name, phone number, or some basic details. Okay, if I talk about the banking application very first having the username and password. If you have seen internet banking, right? So what is supposed to be happen? So actually people are trying to write some queries over the text field area to retrieve some information of the couple of users. So that is kind of things comes under the SQL injection. You are using SQL, you are writing the query to get the all kind of username, whoever users is available as part of your bank account. Okay, they're trying to have the different kind of attacks. You may not aware about the XSS attacks. It is related to the encryption kind of stuff. So they are trying to do all this kind of nonsense because those are the person who would like to have the information, and later point of time behalf of this information they are trying to have the money. The same kind of virus you may heard about the ransomware. What was happening as part of the ransomware? They are simply attacking on your the system, and they are seizing it out. Okay, or they are saying they are demanding the money, and after getting the money only they are releasing the systems, because you're having some very important sensitive information. The sensitive information will be revealed, your reputation will be down, your company will be totally down. So what is the very first what to say entrance area? If I talk about, this is known as the firewall, which is the web application firewall. Is it is known as. So this firewall is applicable as part of your load balancers. If I talk about, this kind of firewall is going to be configured as part of the application gateway. I know load balancers you may not don't understand much more better way, but let me tell you something about the load balancer. If I see LB terminology is there, what do you mean by load balancer? So let me give you the scenario. This is the very first website. This is the second site. That's fine. But if you understand, this is one kind of, you can say, you having the for one particular server. If you see, those computers are nothing but the virtual machine. Okay, so suppose 10,000 requests are coming, okay, in a minute. So 500 requests need to be diverted to this particular servers, and 500 requests need to be diverted to this particular servers. Just kind of load need to be balanced. That's why its name is the load balancer. So whatever the requests are coming, those requests is supposed to be go to the particular I2C server. Okay, that kind of things comes under the load balancer. If I talk about the web application firewall, firewall is responsible to restrict the traffic. Which kind of traffic, which kind of nonsense? Those things like a port number. The request is not supposed to become from this particular port number. Some you are able to see whenever you are accessing some website which have, specifically whenever you're trying to install the game, you are getting some what to say, the exe file. While installing the exe file, it's installing additional, what to say, additional plugins. Okay, and your laptop is getting very slow, it's scanning some virus, all the nonsense is going to be happen. So you have observed, like you having the firewall as part of your windows, right? You having the firewall, that firewall is going to let you know this particular exe file is the problematic. You're not supposed to install this exe file. That's a very first point of protection will be your application firewall. Very first point will be like you are supposed to have the stop of such kind of attack. Now here you no need to apply any logic to write the code to do anything. It's like a services are available. Simply you need to configure the service. So one of the best thing about the clouds, everything already developed, everything is already available. You are supposed to configure the thing. You are supposed to make it as per your requirement. So this is the very first part of the security, where if valid request will be there, then only valid request going to be diverted between the sites, okay, or I can say between the servers, and your security is going to be maintained at firewall level. So I hope so you guys you got some understanding about the application gateway. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Anything you would like to ask about the Azure firewall here, guys? Any question you would like to ask here? What do you mean by firewall? You can simply understand like a firewall of your laptop. Yeah, tell me. Anybody have any question?
So means if anybody will access from outside, right?
Uh-huh.
Or
Mm-hmm.
inside users like employees and all. So if
Huh.
they want to access some application or
Mm-hmm.
server at that time, this one will come, right?
Right. Even you can see like your company having the network, your company having their own portals, right? So if you are the valid person, if you are the employee of the company, then only you are able to access their portal, their websites, right? You are restricting the traffic. You are validating the request. Are you understanding my point? Such kind of protection is going to be applied in the very beginning part of your application only. Such kind of things will come under the application gateway firewall, web application firewall. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
suppose you have validated, after the validation, suppose 10,000 requests are getting validated per minute. And now if you're going to have the burden on the particular server, that definitely server is going to be crashed. So this particular kind of traffic need to be distributed equal way. So that thing comes under the load balancer. So here we are talking about the all possible nonsense which can happen over the internet, because your website, your things are connected through the internet. Maybe you are going through the VPC, that's fine. You are going to see in a future in terms of the networking. But anyhow, anyway, you are connected through the internet. Okay. And internet can have the such kind of person who can do some nonsense like SQL injection, XSS attack. This is nothing but the encryption kind of issues. Okay. So you would like to deal with them. So the first level of the security is going to be applied over the firewall. If you would like to remember this, very simple. Your Windows having the firewall, right? Which is known as the Microsoft Defender, which is going to help you out to have the proper access of the website, the browsing history. Let me show you here. Okay, if you come here, if I come to the settings here, right? If you see this browsing, web browsing, this is kind of, you can see here updates are available. Okay, so if you see here, let me show you something. Okay, privacy, location, update, and security. Okay. So I'm supposed to get the issues if my Windows is not properly secure. So if you see Windows security, it is going to check all the things, firewall and network protection, application and browse control, delivery. This kind of basic security you are going to observe. Even one more thing is there I would like to show you. Uh, Let me show you. Okay, so actually, as of now, I have not accessed such kind of website where you are going to have the issues. Okay, but whenever you're going to have the website now, you are going to see how exactly things are going in a wrong way. How exactly you see this is the open window security. This area, see the firewall network protection, app browser protection control. This is the entire kind of security is being applied. Okay, bias and threat protection. If you see here, it is going to scan the things. It is going to let you know where is the virus, how is the virus. You can see the firewall. This is nothing but the firewall. You see, my firewall is open. Okay, for the private network, for the domain, this is my firewall is active here. If anything goes wrong, if any nonsense is happening, definitely it is going to intimate me. You are going to access such kind of website which may having some threats, which may having some viruses, which may harm your laptop, desktop. So nowadays, firewall is that much strong enough. If you're downloading something which is having the virus, it is not being downloaded in a proper way. Even after downloading, immediately it is going to be deleted. If you have did such kind of GAMS installation, no, you will get to know about it. So this is the basic use of the firewall. Okay. Which kind of application is supposed to be allowed, which kind of application not supposed to be allowed. You can see all the standards are being followed here, which kind of software supposed to be allowed. All those things you are able to see, right? This is nothing but the Defender. See, Windows Defender firewall. So the same kind of thing is going to be applied as part of the server as well. Basic, very basic port level security. This is nothing but the firewall. Okay, got the visibility, guys? What do you mean by firewall? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fine. No problem. We are going to see the couple of scenario how exactly things are going to work out, but this is the basic understanding you should have. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, DDoS. protection. So I have explained this kind of protection couple of times. How exactly I explained? Because we was going through some practice papers, right? While we was having the SST, we have gone through the practice paper. We have seen what do you mean by DDoS. So guys, anybody can tell me here, what do you understand from DDoS? Bevo? Bevo? Can you please tell me?
DDoS is denial.
Mhm.
Full form I forget again.
Distributed denial of services, no?
Yeah.
Mhm. So,
So
but
it is like a
mhm.
firewall, you can say, right?
Not firewall. Actually, all those features are going to be available free of cost for all the services, but the level is going to be increased. DDoS, I told you guys, just try to remember the things, okay? I hope so you guys are not reading the
Cyber
things
attack
in a cyber attack. How, which kind of cyber attack? What is the intention of the cyber attack?
means like some outside person will try to access our application.
This is only
So
the thing.
that is our
Mhm.
Like outside person is using the resources, is trying to jam the resources so that our resources will be wasted.
Okay. It's not like this. I given you the very good example to remember this.
You have
Okay.
given the example of the something.
Yeah, so I given you the example. Let me tell you, no problem at all. Yeah. So I given you the example of Flipkart websites. I told you yesterday also I was discussing. I was talking about the scalability, right? I was talking about the elasticity. So I was trying to say, suppose but the default capacity of the Flipkart website over the cell is 5 lakh. The normal distance is 1 lakh only. But whenever the flash sales are coming, the traffic is increasing 5 times. Okay. That's fine. That is quite acceptable. In this way, your elasticity and scalability is going to work out. But suppose it's a normal day only. Okay, there is no flash sale is going on. Normal traffic is only 1 lakh. But what is happening? Some hackers are here who are trying to have the damage your website. How exactly they are going to damage your website? Actual customer is not going to be login, or actual customer is not accessing your website. Okay, it's not like you would like to access the Flipkart. You are not supposed to have the account always. It's not like this. Yeah. So you can have the account, you don't have the account, does not matter. You are going to go to the website. You are able to see the product. That is the thing is there, right? So what is happening? Actual traffic is not there. Actual what to say, things are not going to work out. Here he is going to create some dummy traffic. Okay, and from that dummy traffic, he is trying to uh, trying to what to say, damage your resources. Like your website will slow down because so much traffic is there. Okay, your website may crash because so much traffic is there. This is the dummy traffic, not the actual traffic. So your Flipkart website is should be that much capable enough to identify what is the dummy traffic, what is the actual traffic, what are the valid requests, what are not the valid requests. Such kind of protection comes under the DDoS kind of protection. So this is kind of protection. If I talk about the firewall protection or DDoS protection, you have couple of plans. Basic plan is there, developer plan is there, and standard plan is there. Then you have professional plan. Okay, so such kind of plans are there which is going to provide you protection. But this DDoS protection or firewall protection, very basic level of protection you are going to get as part of the basic plan only. Okay, if you would like to increase much more protection about it, that is going to be happen using next level of the plans. Okay, so if I talk about the DDoS protection, this is going to become here. But how the DDoS protection is going to do? It is going to distinguish. Okay, this is the dummy traffic, this is the actual traffic. Okay, and your website suppose not to be goes down. How it is website will goes down, a website may crash because you are reaching the limitations. Okay, reaching the limitation of the server. You may have the servers which can deal with the 10 lakh customers, but if the traffic is near to 1 crore, how exactly website will survive? You have seen the couple of times whenever the results are getting declared, your CBSE websites are getting down, right? MP online kind of websites are getting down. So why? Because so much traffic coming to the picture, your website is unable to deal with the traffic, and you know, okay, now website goes down. You are simply relaxing. You are thinking, okay, let it be. I will try in the night. I will check in the night. You know, night will be the less traffic. You are going to check the results, right? Such kind of things comes under the DDoS protection. You got the thing, guys? What I'm trying to say you? Hello, guys. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Getting the visibility about the DDoS protection. Yeah, I told you, just you need to remember DDoS protection, nothing but the dummy traffic. You are supposed to filter the dummy traffic. Okay. Okay. So now I was talking about some plans. Basic plans are there, standard plans are there. Okay. So what I am going to get as part of the basic plan? So always on the monitoring. Okay, monitoring of my resources, which your source is properly behaving fine, working fine. Okay, we are supposed to have more number of sources, more number of virtual machine as part of the requirement. Okay. If I talk about automation mitigation for the L3 and L4 attacks, which are the basic level attacks. So if I talking about the firewall related stuff or something, that kind of thing is basic protection you are going to get. L7 protection with the application. So L7 means layer 7 protection, which is known as the application layer, right? So layer 7 protection with the application gateway, web application firewall, this kind of protection also you are going to get and globally deployed. So those are the basic protection which you are going to get as part of your basic plan. So if I talk about the standard plan, what else you are going to get? And the protection policies tuned on to your VNet. VNet means virtual network actually. Okay. So this is another inside the your Azure kind of account, you are going to have the virtual machines. You are going to have the VPN, virtual private gateways, right? So virtual private cloud will be there. All those things will be there, which is going to be protected. Okay, you are going to get much more next level of logging, alerting, and telemetry to identify the stuff. Resource cost skill protection, like how exactly a resource is supposed to be behaved properly, how exactly a resource is supposed to be utilized properly. It will be less costly to you. So all those things will come under what? It will come under the plans. So you're going to see more next level of plans are there. Let me tell you one very basic scenario. Suppose Flipkart website goes down. Okay. Now Flipkart website was deployed over the Azure. And what is happening? Now website is down and you can't do anything. Maybe you are looking for some response from the cloud due to some cloud issues only or some resource related restriction, only website goes down. Now you're supposed to contact to the Azure people. If your plan is the basic plan, they can respond you at any point of time. There is no limitation. There is no proper SLA. Within a 1 hour of the within 1 hour, you would like to get response from them. So you are supposed to have the professional plan. You are supposed to have the next level of plan. Okay. So developer plan is applicable only for 8 hours. Like within 8 hours of time, they are going to respond to you. Basic plan not having any good SLA. Okay, there is a standard plan for the production server that is 24/7. You are going to see some business critical applications. So based on which kind of application you are working with, that kind of protection you are going to get as part of the protection, the plans for accessing your website or managing your Azure related resources. So you can understand plans is nothing but the SLA. How much big SLA you would like to have, how much aggressive SLA you would like to have, that kind of plan you can choose for. So I hope so guys you know about the SLA. It's a service level agreement. I'm supposed to have my website up and running within 1 hour of time. I'm supposed to have my website up and running within 8 hours of time. It's all about how much mission critical your application is. Okay, like transaction management, if I talk about related to the transactions, those kind of things are going to be very critical because they can have the thousands crores or lakhs of rupees problem like loss, okay, due to your servers are not up and running. So that kind of mission critical application. Okay, now come to the network security group. So I hope so guys you got the visibility about the plans and DDoS protection, right? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Sashti, you got the visibility. Sorry, not Sashti. Abhinav, you got the visibility.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Bebao, are you getting the point what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Ria, you have any questions? You can let me know. Are you there, Ria?
No, okay.
Okay, fine. Okay, now come to the network security group. What do you mean by network security group? Okay, so very basic thing you may heard about if you have ever worked on the networking, I know as part of our career, we not got the chance to work with the networking. We think, okay, those are the responsibility of the admin people, those are the responsibility of the network peoples. We are not responsible to manage any kind of networking. But this is the very good thing about the cloud computing. Whenever you are thinking about the cloud, you would like to switch your career towards the cloud. Na? you are going to have very good amount of visibility about all those kind of features. Okay, so maybe you don't know the network security group, maybe you don't know the subnet, you don't know the network access control list, you don't know the VPC, VPN, application gateway, firewall, all this terminology you may not aware about it, right? So that's kind of information you're going to learn as part of the cloud. So let's discuss about the network security group. Network security group is nothing but you have the virtual machine, right? Your virtual machine is supposed to allow which kind of port? Port number 80, port number 443, port number 22. So port number 80 is what? HTTP. Okay, HTTP is the port number 80. HTTPS is port number 443. Okay, SSH is port number 22. Okay, ICMP, those kind of ports are available with us, right? So which kind of traffic is supposed to be allowed from which source? Okay, for what is the source of the incoming traffic? Okay, how exactly you are accessing your virtual machine? So whenever you would like to restrict your virtual machine to allow those particular port at the instance level, I can say the virtual machine level security is going to be dealt with the network security groups. Okay, so okay, how exactly you can understand the network security group here? So this is the very basic thing, guys. If I talk about this is nothing the VPC, this is known as the virtual private cloud, or you can say simply it's a private network. As part of the private network, you are going to have first of all the public subnet and the private subnet. Okay, so public subnet nothing but the front end subnet. Okay, so your traffic will come from the internet. From the internet, it is going to be divided into the what to say using the load balancer. Your traffic is going to be divided. Even here, if you see here, you are going to have the firewall. It is not mentioning here. Here it's going to have the firewall. Suppose your instance are going to be available as part of your virtual machine. So if you see the network security groups are here, which is which is checking which traffic is coming from which particular source. It's coming from HTTP, it is coming from HTTPS. So network security groups, like you have the load balancer. Your load balancer having the network security group. Okay, so that particular network security group is having the traffic that is allowing the port, and inside the load balancer only your virtual machine is going to be configured. So your virtual machine is supposed to receive the traffic from the load balancer only. They are not supposed to receive the traffic directly from the internet. So like this, your whatever the security group is available as part of your load balancer, those kind of security groups will be configured as part of your web servers. So your web server will receive the traffic from the application server only, or from the load balancer only. Okay, so guys, let me give you some visibility. So I know this is a bit critical today. It's a bit difficult to understand the thing, what I'm trying to say and how exactly you can recognize. Very simple thing. Just think of the load balancer. What is the main use of the load balancer? To distribute the traffic, right? So I was saying there are 3 virtual machines are available. Virtual machines supposed to receive the traffic. Suppose I'm saying there are 1000 requests are coming. Out of 1000 requests, 100 requests are invalid requests. Okay, so those requests are going to be filtered at firewall level. Okay, gone. Remaining 900 requests came into the picture. Now 900 requests supposed to be distributed equally for each and every virtual machine. So what is going to be happen? 300 requests will go for the first virtual machine. Another 300 requests will go for the second virtual machine. Another 300 requests will go for the third virtual machine. Like this, all virtual machines are utilized in a proper way. Traffic is going to be distributed. But how exactly it's possible? It's possible using the load balancer only. Okay, if I'm saying there is no load balancer, if there is no load balancer, then what is going to be happen? Your traffic is not going to be distributed properly. First thing, okay, any virtual machine can have the load, or any virtual machine can have very less amount of load. This kind of situation is going to be happen. But I need to restrict my virtual machine to receive the traffic from the load balancer only. Okay, it may be possible you have configured a load balancer, but your load balancer is unable to distribute the traffic in a proper way because your virtual machine can receive the traffic outside of the load balancer as well. So you are supposed to configure the traffic. Okay, hey virtual machine, you are supposed to receive the traffic from the load balancer only. So whatever the security group is available as part of the load balancer, that kind of security group supposed to be configured as part of virtual machine, because in the virtual machine I mentioned the port. Port is number 80, port number 22, port number 443. So those are the port which are allowed actually. Okay, so as part of the port, I'm going to say, okay, this port number 80 kind of traffic is supposed to be received from the load balancer. Port number 443, traffic is also supposed to receive from the load balancer. Port number 22 is supposed to receive the traffic from port number, from the load balancer. So we are going to have the security group. We are going to configure the security group as part of your virtual machine. Okay. So let me show you one diagram here, guys. You will get the much more visibility about it. I hope so getting some visibility. I know it's a bit difficult to understand. You guys don't have any background related to the networking. Okay, let's see here. Guys, see this is going to be much more visible to you. So you see front end subnet, which is known as the public subnet, back end subnet, which is known as the private subnet. Okay, if you focus in this diagram, your base servers are going to keep as part of the public subnet. Your DB servers are going to keep as part of the private subnet. You're getting my point? So where you need more protection, your data need to be secured more. That kind of things is going to be placed in the private subnet. So you will not have the access of the internet directly using the internet. Any traffic will not directly come to the to the backend subnet. Okay, it is going to come through the front end subnet, then it is going to come to the backend subnet. You can see also the traffic is coming from front end to back end. So traffic is going to be filtered at each and every level. If I say for your better understanding, if you see this traffic is coming, this is the virtual private gateway and this is the internet gateway. So first of all, your internet gateway having the public internet and your virtual private gateway don't having the public internet. So first of all, internet will come here. The internet is going to be route as part of the route table. Table will have the address. Then only this particular traffic is going to be allowed. This particular traffic is going to be go to the NACL. So NACL also going to restrict the traffic, which is known as the network access control list, that is going to be distributed. Then it is going to come to the security group. So you can see the security group is nothing but the network security group. So I'm talking about it. Each and every virtual machine having the network security group, whatever the things are going to be configured, that kind of traffic it is going to receive. So before entering into the particular subnet, it is going to have the load balancer. It's a security related kind of stuff. Okay, much more. But here, if you see the traffic is going to be distributed using the load balancer. The virtual machine is able to see the traffic from the load balancer only. And then what's going to be happen after the things are being filtered? Now the traffic will go from the base server to the DB server. So those DB servers are in the private subnet. So I will configure this database security group to receive the traffic from the web server only. Are you getting some point what I'm trying to say, guys? Guys, you can unmute yourself and you can.
Sorry to say, but not getting your point.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking again and again. Okay, see. So what I'm saying, you would like to restrict like this is the load balancer. Now your virtual machine is supposed to receive traffic from the load balancer only. You are going to do the configuration. That's fine. Okay. Once your traffic came to the web server, now you are supposed to have the traffic from web server to the DB server. So this load balancer is not supposed to get the traffic from that another load balancer or we say internet, open internet. It is supposed to restrict the traffic from this virtual machine only. You are going to have the configuration. Now this load balancer means this virtual machine is supposed to receive the traffic from this particular thing only. You are supposed to have the configuration. So just you need to understand each and everything should get the traffic from the same way with the way we have configured. It is not supposed to receive the traffic from somewhere else. Wait, I got the call, just 2 minutes. Yeah, guys, are you able to hear me now? So what is my intention to tell you all those things here? It's a very simple thing. Just I would like to say traffic is not supposed to be come from anywhere else. Traffic is supposed to be come from where I would like to have. I would like to have the traffic supposed to be come from the load balancer. It will come. I'm saying traffic supposed to be filtered at this level or what to say firewall level. Then only it is supposed to come to this backend subnet. So first of all, traffic is supposed to be in the overview. I can say you very simple thing. Suppose of all, first of all, the traffic need to be filtered at firewall level. Then traffic is supposed to be filtered at front subnet level. Then traffic is supposed to be filtered before entering into the backend. It is supposed to be filtered at front end level. Okay. Now, what else can be done? If I focus inside the if I focus on the subnet level, so your load balancer having the network security group, again, the traffic is going to be filtered using this, which is the subnet level security is going to be applicable, but it is going to be give you much more visibility about it, how it is traffic is going to be filtered. Okay, guys, let me ask Ria. Ria, what you understood this point of time? Just tell me the terminology. I don't want entire visibility. Tell me the terminology, what you understood till this point of time. Ria, are you
In
able to?
this, yeah, in this diagram.
Yeah, in this diagram.
Um, actually, I understand like some load balancer is there,
Okay.
and we are connecting the front end to like back end subnet.
Mm-hmm.
In the back end, some database server, some virtual machine or related to database, something is there. And in the front end, we are receiving the load balancer and dividing the traffic into like amongst the virtual machine, something. That's only I understood and nothing.
Okay, fine. Let me ask Bebo. Bebo is from networking only, right? Bebo, can you please tell me what you understood?
Yeah, actually, first of all, from internet,
Mm-hmm.
the traffic will come. Okay.
Okay, sure.
After that, it will go from our network security group. Inside that network
First of all, traffic is going to be filtered at firewall level. Yeah.
firewall only. Yeah,
Okay.
that only.
Mhm.
After firewall, then it will come to this load balancer. Okay.
Right.
So what load balancer will do? Suppose we are having 100 of VM machine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the load balancer will distribute the traffic in each machine,
Okay,
each
sure.
in each VMs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that uh, sorry, in web server. So in web server there is a lot of VM machines. So for each machine they are distributing the traffic.
Okay, fine.
Okay. After that, once this front end will completed, then it will go to the back end. Means back end means our database server. Like we are maintaining our database server for our company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that database server, we are having some like
DBs, nothing. Database server means DBs only,
yeah,
right? SQL, MySQL, Oracle, whatever, right? So data is very important. Yeah.
data is important. Yeah. So in DBs, then the complete traffic will come through load balancer. Here also the load balancer is there, but the difference between that front end and back end, in front end we are dealing with web server, in back end we are having the database server.
Right.
So
Right.
it will distribute the traffic in the database VMs.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So you need to know one thing here. Load balancer also having the security groups and virtual machine also having the security groups. Yeah. So load balancer. Okay, what exactly we are going to configure as part of the security group? Are you getting my point? What exactly we are going to configure as part of the security group?
Saki, I have a question here.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I understood what firewall does. Okay, I am understanding what load balancer is doing. Okay, uh, but what is this network security group? I mean, what is that function actually doing there?
Yeah. Network security group. Okay, let me show you first of all. Uh, okay, so let me show you one sample here. You will get very good visibility. Okay, actually, I don't have the access of the Azure right now, so I'm going to show you in terms of the AWS. Is it fine? Both having the same kind of concept, nothing much difference. Okay,
Yeah.
let me show you. Very simple. You will get 100% visibility right now. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, so first of all, I told you, we have the regions as part of the Azure. So those are the regions. You can see the Mumbai region is there, North Virginia is there, Ohio is there, okay, Oregon is there. So we have the regions. So many regions are here. Okay, this is the Cloud Shell. We have seen as part of the Azure also having the Cloud Shell, which is known as the Azure CLI. This is known as the AWS CLI. That's fine, perfect. Actually, you say the virtual machine in terms of the Azure, but EC2 stands in terms of the AWS. Okay, let me have the things just created. You will get the much more visibility. Let me have the instance created. So I'm just creating the virtual machine using the Linux. Okay, Linux OS. It is hyper virtual machine. Okay, using the SSD. That's fine. So even I shown you like we can choose the instance type. These are the type of the family. Like you can have the T2 or T5. So many things are there if you see here. So if you would like to go for the normal performance, you can go for the T2 general purpose. If you would like to go memory specific or graphic specific, the graphic for G4, memory for M4. Okay, performance for P4. Like this you can have. Okay, R for RAM means R for RAM kind of things. Okay. So as of now, I'm using the normal thing only. Just need to grab the thing. What I'm trying to say here. This is the type of the OS I'm using Linux only. You need to focus on Linux here. Okay. Type of the instance I'm choosing. Like what is the type of the instance? T2 micro, basic general purpose instance only. Okay. We have type of instance. Like if you would like to use the game, if you would like to play the game, definitely you will have the very good laptop which having so much good amount of graphic memory. Are you getting my point? So much high speed of SSD, like the same thing. Okay. Right now, no need to think about anything. Let me just create. Okay. No need to worry about anything. Just I would like to show you the security group. Let me give you the virtual machine. You will get the security. Okay, this is the security group. If you see, are you able to see security group? Okay, so we have existing security group which is known as the default VPC. Okay, so see port number what is there? Port number 2080 is there for the HTTP. For port number 22 is there, right? Source, see source is from where traffic can come. This is the IPv4 address. This is the IPv6 address. Okay, I am going to show you again. No problem at all. Just I am showing you basic thing over here. Just let me create the EC2 instance. Okay, no problem. Of dbq my EC2. Let me start it. Let me make it up and running. So you see, this is the virtual machine. Actually, this is my virtual machine. In this virtual machine, if you come to the security, there is a security group. This is the security group. If you focus on the security group, it's having, yeah, just let me get back. In the security group, you have the inbound rule, you have the outbound rule. So just I'm focusing on inbound rule. Okay. You are going to have, see, I'm going to show you in terms of the Azure also after some time. So here you see, this is your network security groups are here. This is the network security group. Okay. As part of the network security group, I'm going to configure the inbound rule. Inbound rule for HTTP. Okay. Automatic usage, this is the type of the protocol which is comes under the TCP, port number 80 there. From where I'm supposed to receive the traffic, I can receive the traffic from anywhere. In terms of the IPv4, IPv6 as well. This is the thing I'm configured for HTTP port. Okay. What do you mean by HTTP port? I am hitting the HTTP, this one. HTTP. See, are you able to see? Primevideo.com. This is having the S. S is for what? S is for security purpose. If I'm hitting the URL, what is happening? I'm getting this S. See, S is getting hidden and you are going the lock symbol here. This is nothing but the HTTPS. S is what? S is like your security, which is known as the port number 443. So let me choose the HTTPS. No problem, guys. You are going to learn. No problem. See, HTTPS is 443. So some basic websites are there. I need to remember some, maybe Java T-point. Let me open Java T-point. Java T-point. Okay. If I hit here, see Java T-point also having the HTTPS. So some website which don't having the HTTPS now will come under the HTTP only. So nobody is nowadays going for HTTP. Everybody going for HTTPS because they would like to secure their website. How your website can get the HTTPS? Using the SSL certificates, right? SSL certificate. Okay, so HTTPS, I'm saying traffic can come from anywhere. And yeah, this is the HTTPS. Let me show you something more. Okay, let me tell you the SSH. Okay, SSH port number 22. You are using the putty, right, guys? Maybe Bevo have seen. Bevo, you are using the putty, right?
Yeah, putty for
Yeah, now,
checking the telnet.
right. Okay, perfect. Now, what I'm trying to do here, this is the IPv4 address, this is the IPv6 address, okay? And I'm allowing the traffic which can come anywhere. Now, I would like to have the traffic is supposed to come from the load balancer only. How exactly I'm going to configure? Very simple. Let me have one more. So what I'm going to do, now my traffic is coming from anywhere. Now, traffic is supposed to be come from the load balancer. So what I'm going to choose the custom. Here I'm going to type the SG. So this SG, default SG right now, you are able to use the security group. So here, if I will create the security group of the load balancer, I am going to configure the security group of the load balancer. Now traffic will come from the security group of the load balancer. Traffic will not come from anywhere. This is the traffic is coming from anywhere, but this traffic will come from the load balancer only. If I have created the load balancer, traffic will come from here only. Like this, I am restricting the thing. This is nothing but the security group. This is nothing but the inbound rule. Like this, you have the outbound rule as well. I hope so you got some visibility. You are restricting the traffic, you are restricting the source traffic, you are going to restrict the destination traffic. All those things you are going to do. This is nothing but the security group. So I'm going to show you guys in terms of the Azure also by tomorrow, no problem at all. But right now, are you able to understand? Because I have the access of the Azure, sorry, AWS, that's why I'm able to show you. If I'm talking about the Azure now, the problem with the Azure is like, I don't have the subscription. It is coming for the 1 year only. Azure portal. I have only 1 year. I'm not able to configure anything here. Okay, it's even I am able to log in. I'm able to show you something, but not able to configure. Like this, I just ran the virtual machine. If you focus here, you have network security group. This is the network security group as part of the Azure. If I'm clicking on the create button, let it be created. Okay, fine. So here, if you see, you have to create a network security group. I'm clicking on the create network security group. Okay. If you see each and every time any resource, this is nothing but this is also resource. Every resource need to be selected against the subscription. Okay, so we are going to have the subscription. I am the developer. I have the development subscription. You are the tester. You may have tester subscription. So like this, I am supposed to have the subscription. Now this resource should be the part of some particular group. Like I'm talking, there is a you can understand like you have the WhatsApp group where you can have the production support team updates over the WhatsApp group. You can have the developer team update over the developer group. Like this, your resource supposed to be bind through a group, which is going to be a which is going to be your group. So I'm going to bind this particular thing. I can say like create new, and I'm saying Lucky Sony. That's Lucky Sony group. Okay, I supposed to not have a space. That's why it's giving the error to me. Like you do not have permission. See, I don't have permission. I don't have the subscription. That's why I was telling you I'm unable to do the changes here. Okay. Region, I can choose any region. Like I have chosen the North Virginia there. What is the region? Oh, sorry, Ohio region is here. My Ohio region is here. If you see there is a region like a US East, I can go for India also. Okay, India. So Central India is there, right? But I'm unable to do anything. If you see the tags are here, if you're able to see the view is there. Once I will create it now, then I will able to add the security groups, inbound rule, outbound rule. Okay. If you would like to understand, you can click here. Simply, you can see all the information here. This is the theory related to the network security group. What kind of plans are available? Okay. How exactly you can have the better visibility? How exactly you can have the support and uses? Okay. All those things. So I'm supposed to have the subscription. Then only I'm going to show you how exactly I'm going to configure. How exactly you are going to have the inbound rule and outbound rule configured as part of your network security group. Oh, you got the visibility, guys? What I'm trying to say you right now, guys?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so. Ria having the meeting, that's why she left it. Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, she having meeting at 11:30 sharp. Okay, guys. So I think so. You got the basic visibility. I'm going to have the same thing again tomorrow. Okay, no problem at all. We are going to discuss our. But anyhow, anyway, very first time you see total strange topic, which is not maybe your expertise or maybe you are not aware, but that's fine. We are going to see. So you have seen I have used the network security group to receive the traffic from the specific source
So,
only. Yeah.
NSG, we are having firewall here only. That above one key is there.
This
Here
here,
are
here the firewall is here. Here the firewall.
okay. Here Azure
Here the
infrastructure.
firewall. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
After firewall, then NSG is come, right?
Right. After firewall, NSG will not come directly. Actually, it is for just understanding the security group. Actually, traffic will not come directly to the network security group. Traffic will come first of all to the VPC. Okay, VPC netting with the virtual network, then it will come to the your route table, then it will come to the network load, network access control list, then it will come to the security group. So many history geography is there, which you will understand slowly, but no problem at all. Okay, it's totally new thing actually, guys. No need to worry.
So from here, internal gateway and that. Can you open that?
Gateway RC, this is nothing but the internet gateway. This is for the public internet. Private virtual
Okay.
gateway is for the private internet. Like this, if you have the application deployed, you will have application gateway. You will have VPC gateway. All those things are there. You're going to understand slowly. No need to worry. Yeah.
See, actually, I have in my company one architecture diagram is there.
Mhm.
So can I share with you? Can you tell?
You can
Like,
you can share tomorrow because already it's
okay.
more than 11:30. I need to
Yeah.
log into my office.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this is the thing actually, guys. You are having the virtual machine which is up and running right now. So
Yeah.
like this, I'm going to show you later point of time. Yeah, you got some visibility. I'm supposed to have the free subscription. So I'm going to terminate it right now.
Okay.
We will focus tomorrow. Okay, how things are supposed to be done. Okay, I hope so. This is a totally new thing. So no problem. You're going to learn slowly. Yeah. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye. Yeah.
Yeah.